Yeah, it is. It is the title.
Oh, I just lost Joey.
Nah,
There he
I
is.
unplugged that. I plugged back in now. It's
Oh,
lost
okay.
me. Plug it in. Plug
I
it
can't even. I can't
in.
even see nobody moving. At least. Does this say that it's actually recording?
Maybe we just go without video.
Yo.
Okay, there.
That's what it says.
It says
All right.
recording.
It's been recording for
Oh,
30 seconds. It says.
all right. Cool. 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 What's going on, Piglets? It's your boy Taylor B, and I'm joined by my co-host Daniel, Joey, and DJ. Wow. Welcome to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. And before we go any further, please be
Damn,
sure to
almost
click that
forgot
follow
me.
or subscribe button. And remember, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Culture by the Uncultured. Enough of that, I guess. What's good with y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all holding up?
Doing
Man,
good. Yeah, doing good. We got football. It's the last
Yes.
week of preseason games. And we got our as you all know, we have our fantasy draft tonight after the podcast, if most of us can make it. But that's pretty much the most
Yeah.
exciting thing going on right now.
Yeah.
yeah, you're looking around at sports right now, and like, if you're a baseball fan, the Yankees are going crazy
Didn't
right now, and
didn't the Dodgers just sweep
they've been on a
the
winning streak for like
Padres?
forever. But
Hey, fuck you.
Man, hey, we don't talk about that.
I was gonna try to ease into that one, but
Hey, sweeps happen. Sweeps happen all the time. All right, it's time to clean up
Yeah.
shop. We ain't got no pitching. I said it since the All Star break. I told you guys in our messenger last week, or actually, I kind of felt it around the end of the trade deadline for MLB. As soon as we got Frazier. He's a good hitter, but as soon as we didn't pick up no pitchers, and then I realized, oh shit, Kawhi's gonna be gone. The Clippers is gonna suck. The Jaguars was the worst team in the league last year. Even though we got the number one pick, our coach is ass. We have no play calling, so pretty much sports is ruining me again. I thought I was out of this, and I thought at least one out of my three teams was going to be good. I was fucking wrong. Okay, so just the excitement of NFL starting is all I really got. Apart from that, mm-mm.
I mean, DJ got good news. He just got a big old brand new house.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big old house, but I
Congratulations,
finally got.
very
I moved
nice.
into a new house here this last weekend. Don't share any walls, not a townhome, an actual house. Got my own front yard, backyard, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, speaking a little bit more about football, that's like you said, I just got Madden. Unfortunately, it's the I've been playing since Madden '98. I don't even know how long that shit's been, but
He fell for it.
it's yeah, I get it every year, and it's unfortunate, but I have to get it at this point, and it's it's
Roster updates.
yeah, it's
That's
a
what Daniel calls it.
$60 roster
Roster
update
update.
and maybe a little graphical upgrade because I got it on the PS5 instead of the PS4 this time.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, a bunch of people asked me too, like, "Oh, you're gonna get mad at it and all that." I was like, "Nah, I'd rather just play fantasy football. Something I don't got to worry about animations killing it or nothing like that." So I'm actually surprised you spent the money on it. Well, actually, no, I'm not because they make so much money off of people every year. It's just like,
Yeah,
and then you go online and you see people just complaining, "Oh, the game isn't it's broken. It's not. Why'd you pay for it?" And like they make all kind of videos and stuff like that. And every time they do that, it just reminds me of that scene from Straight Outta
yeah,
Compton where they have the album and they're all breaking the albums. They're just like, you already bought them. I don't care what you do with the album.
yeah.
It's
It's
just the
kind of like that
obsession, man.
abusive
If you love the
relationship. You
sport,
keep on coming back,
you're gonna
man.
buy it.
Yeah, you keep on
Jeez.
coming back. You just keep on coming back, hoping something changed, something's new,
Right,
and
right.
you get disappointed every year.
Sports are
And then,
toxic.
yeah, you see how Naomi Osaka, she started a trend. Like everybody's like pulling out of the tennis matches now. Serena's pulling out. Well, I think she's actually hurt, but I don't know why Venus pulled out. You just because her sister wasn't there or something like that. And it's just you're gonna just
Possibly.
start seeing this over and over again through every sport, through tennis. It just pull out, pull out, pull out.
It's kind of funny too because like all these people are claim like I, I don't know what it is, guys, because like when we grew up, everybody has moments of sadness or discouragement or even like depression, but we kept that shit inside and kept it pushing. You know, like yeah, you talk to your friends, but nowadays
Yeah.
people with a platform, it don't matter if you're a celebrity, a high profile athlete, everybody's like, hey guys, look, not feeling too good. I'm not gonna be able to bro, especially with sports. Can we not all agree that in regards to sports, whenever you like deal with depression or you're upset, we ran to sports to help us with that. Like
Mhm.
literally, I remember being upset about stuff. I would go to the park by myself with a basketball and put up 300 jumpers
Sheesh.
just to like feel that, like the same reason people go to the gym. They want to just exert themselves, feel some kind of pain so that they could rationalize the pain inside their mind. Like I know it's kind of deep, but it kind of doesn't make sense now that all these professional athletes are like claiming mental disabilities and being soft, and it's just like that's why we place like what happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What the fuck happened? I don't know. So I
I
don't
think
know if
it's
it's just
more.
like tennis,
I think it's.
or Kyrie.
I think it has something to do with
But
like
apart from
I
that, I
learned
don't
this
know.
recently about like streamers and like professional video game players or whatever you want to call them nowadays. But like there's been a kind of an influx of people talking about that, once you love something and you're good at it and you can make money off of it and you do it for so long, eventually you stop kind of having that same passion for it, that same love for it. It's a job. This is how I make my income. Like I especially maybe at first you really love it. You're like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I can get money off of this. Like this is something I always wanted to do. But then eventually you do it day in and day out and you try to keep a tight schedule and do this and that and then promotions and then people send you stuff and they want you to play their game and you have all these obligations because of gaming or whatever your medium is. Well, then you kind of lose that passion for it and that love for it, and it's just like, okay, well, I have to do this. It's not like something that it's not your escape anymore. It's just your job.
Well, here's a thought behind that though. I feel like that used to be limited to the careers that you relied on media to help, like gaming. The only way you can truly make, well, not the only way, but the best way to help
Yeah,
yourself out is by putting out content. You know what I mean? Like all the gamers, you have to let people know, hey, I'm good at this game, come watch my channel. So you have to advertise yourself. But when we're talking about like physical sports, because
yeah,
ESPN says that gaming is a sport now, and I understand that, but when it comes to physical sports, if you are somebody with a certain level of notoriety, you know, the only thing that can really hold you back or keep you mentally in a space where you can't focus on your passion, your sport,
yeah,
is if you do pay attention to media too much. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't have to run. Like I don't want to make it sound like you have to miss out on social media because you're an athlete, but do what you got to do to protect your mental. And if that means you scrolling and seeing all the comments, positive or negative, gets to you, bro, if I'm making millions of dollars playing the sport that I essentially love, what the fuck do I care what they're talking about? Have my friends send me the funny memes or do this, but don't go Googling yourself trying to find out what people are saying because it's
that should
going to
definitely be
break
the
you down.
case. I
Especially
just
now,
feel
people
like
are ruthless.
it's
Yeah.
definitely it's one of those things that's not everybody's built the same. You know what I mean? Some people have a harder time dealing with things like that. Some people have a way easier time. I know like Tyler the Creator tweeted like years ago, like how the hell do you get cyberbullied? Just log the fuck off. Like, and it's like that's while that sentiment is true. Then it's like
Exactly.
as when you're famous, there's just so
Exactly.
much of it. You know what I mean? Like if you let's say you have a Twitter and you become a famous sports
Yeah.
athlete or whatever, well now you got all these mentions. You know what I mean? Probably not even in a professional setting, even in a college level, a collegiate level, you're getting all kinds of mentions. People trying to DM you, people trying to hit you up like, hey man, like try this out, or even like give you free stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they feel like your name is going to be big one day, or if your name is big one day already, then it's like, well, let me give you free stuff. Let me promote this, bro. I'll give you this stuff for free or whatever. See if you like my work, bro. I drew this for you or da 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 da. And then it's like, you don't want to like, you love the sport, but it's like at the same time, I feel like people who like play at this level and have this notoriety, you want to appease your fans too to a degree. You know what I mean? It's like if like famous sports players, which just like completely like abandon all that. Like, every day, like they just go into the gym, work out, go to the court, finish their game, and then just leave. Like that's it. They don't want to talk to nobody. They don't want to interact with the fans or nothing. They don't want to go like, sign no autographs, shake nobody's hands. Then it's like, it's almost selfish just because the fans are here to watch you play and to watch you perform and to support you and things like that. And then for you to just be like, well, fuck off. I'm just going to be worried about myself because I'm worried about, and like, you should be worried about your mental health. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's just, it's hard to find that happy medium between one extreme or the other. Do I give myself completely to the fans or do I give none of myself to the fans?
Okay. So
I don't think it has to do
let's
with
remember
fans.
though, in that's why every time we talk about sports and like every time we talk about sports and emotions, this is why I always start with, let's remember that sports is its own world. All the people that I look up to, all the great athletes, the reasons why they're important to us is because they were good at their sport. We never called them idols or icons or people that we look up to on the street. That's why they say, be careful meeting your idols because you might not like who you meet, because you have to remember why you follow them in the first place. Michael Jordan was not a great person. He was an asshole, but that's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know about all these people, like on a personal level. When you play sports, that is what I look at. So I don't know what it is about today, about feeling the pressure of being a role model, but I think too many people are feeling the need to be that. And it's like, no, dude, like you found your lane. Like you're a tennis player. Play tennis. Nobody's asking you to stick up for the rest of the world. Do what Marshawn Lynch did. Me and Daniel talked about it. I'm only here so I don't get fined. I don't care if you don't want to talk to nobody. You're not, and not in a rude way, but you have no value to me other than you playing tennis. I get to watch you be good at something, and that's okay. People think that they have to show more than that so that they have value. No. You have a talent that you're good at, just like everybody else does. You don't have to be an all-around Renaissance person good at everything. And I think there's pressures from, I don't know, maybe it's social media. I don't know. I just feel like it's unnecessary.
Did something happen after that Marshawn thing?
Sport players.
Because I'm surprised that other athletes haven't taken up and done that same exact thing versus like,
they have a little here and there.
Nothing really happened. It's just that he literally got fined every time, like every week, and like a lot of people don't got the guts.
But did he get fined from that interview right there though too? The one where he was like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He still got fined for that? Oh shit.
Yeah. He still got fined. Like the Roger Goodell did not care. He was like, you're not going to talk to nobody. I'm still going to fine you. Even if you show up, I'm still going to fine you unless you start answering some questions. And it's a part of the contract that makes no damn sense. It's like, if I'm at the end of the game,
I want to go home.
I don't want to talk to nobody. It's almost to the point where you should just have kind of like how Jurassic Park, where the very first ride, they all sat there and then they moved and they just went into the glass screen and they saw every little thing. I feel like that's what sports should probably be now. Just everybody get on the ride. Okay, look, now they're playing tennis. Okay, now they're playing sport. They'll keep it moving, keep it pushing, because they're not gonna talk to nobody at the end. But like, you saw it, they were here. Okay, bye.
Ultimately, that's why we got seasons. But it's different with tennis. It's different with tennis because it's kind of like, it's like golf. It's year round. You have tournaments. But in football, or baseball, those people are the focus of our attention when the season's going on. Unless obviously there's some like scandalous stuff going on. No need to name names, but there's off-season crap. But apart from that, if you're a football player, I don't care about what you're doing outside of football season. I don't care what you're doing outside of baseball season. I don't care what kind of citizen you are, unless you doing really bad stuff.
Low key, this brings up the Sha'Carri thing, just because I feel like that situation to me is like, has gone up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know where people are at right now. Well, people don't like her right now for sure, but I feel like everybody was just kind of like, oh man, like that's fucked up. She can't fucking go to the Olympics, and she's like really fast or whatever. And then, but then like right away too. So like the Black Nerd group that I always mention, right? Just some Black nerds. They like, a lot of people pretty much turned turned on her right then and there in the Olympics, saying she wouldn't have won anyways because like I think the 3 Jamaican women that were just in that last race with her, they were in that too, and they like took all 3 of the medals basically. And people were just like, dang, like y'all be so quick to switch up on people, like,
Yeah.
and it's like you're not like, it ain't like some, I don't know, like you're saying this, and it's like she's an American, she's a Black American, and she didn't say or do anything wrong at that time, but then right then and there, you guys are just like, oh, like, well, throw her
Said
away
it.
and let's go to somebody else then that's Black, but it's like they're not even from here,
You know why? You know what I feel
Oh,
about
super
that is,
quick.
like you said, people can turn on you fast
True.
because they start supporting people that fast. They don't know. You guys understand
Yeah.
that. It's not like
Yeah.
Sha'Carri Richardson got fast out of nowhere and then she was fake. No, she was training for years. She's been good. She's been winning. But she didn't get what? She didn't get no pub because why? She wasn't in the Olympics yet.
Yeah.
She wasn't part of no like major media. What really brought the masses' attention to
She
Sha'Carri
smoked
Richardson?
weed and couldn't go to the Olympics.
The fact that what?
Oh, I don't even know. I have no
No.
idea.
Before that, what I know what happened because
For
Black
real.
Twitter went crazy and said, "Oh, look at this girl that reminds us of FloJo with the nails and the like girl." You know those
Yeah,
memes
yeah.
that say, "Oh, she can do this, like she can do both. She can
Yeah.
be like dressed like a tomboy but also dress
Okay.
sexy." That's what they're infatuated with. So when people were like, "Oh, look at this girl, she looks like this and she runs. Oh, let's support her." What about all the people who've been fast who
Yeah.
don't do that? Are you supporting? Like, see, it's like you chose to like someone, so you supported them. But in regards to sports, it's a different world. You were supporting the idea of this personality in sports. But then when sports came around, you guys didn't know how to deal with it. So nobody had a problem with her being fast or her smoking weed or being, because other people have been banned from the Olympics or cut from their respective sports. But because she was a topic of recent discussion, it blew up because people were saying, "Oh, why are you guys so mad about her being suspended from the Olympics?" Michael Phelps was suspended the same way for his thing, or like so on and so forth. But I'll be honest, Black folks is fast. As soon as y'all find something you like to claim, boom, boom, it's everywhere. And I think that's what happened. So when it kind of turned back on them, and now I don't mean to say them, but like let's be real, when it kind of turned
I
back
don't
on
want to
them,
play
a
with you
lot of them were
anymore.
like, "Oh." And then when they read exactly,
Yeah.
and that's wishy-washy. You can't. Everybody's not a perfect citizen. Then they went into her old Twitter and they were like, "Oh, if you support Little Nas X, delete me." So because she has an opinion, oh, now her being Black wasn't good enough. Now because she doesn't support LGBTQ the way Lil Nas X does it, now she ain't shit either. So as you can see, society has been, for lack of a better term,
Yes,
playing tennis with
absolutely.
emotions. You know what I mean? They've been Osaking all over the
Right.
place.
It's just kind of it's
So
kind of
in
it's kind of
regards to
unfortunate.
sports, this is what we saw. All emotions aside,
Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, all emotions
Go ahead.
aside, like it's kind of unfortunate though talking about Sha'Carri Richardson and all this stuff that happened because obviously we had all that. She had her race and she came in last place, and like you guys said, everybody basically switched up on her. But what's unfortunate with this switch up is everyone's focusing so
she
much
got
on
whooped.
Sha'Carri. Everyone's focusing so much on Sha'Carri, but no one's talking about the Jamaicans that came in first. The
Yeah.
Nike is so quick. Like one
What's
of
her
the
name?
biggest
Evelyn
headlines that
Thompson.
came out from that whole conversation is Nike. Yeah, so Nike's been trying to basically ride the heels of Sha'Carri and promote the hell out of it because, like you guys said, she's an American Black athlete that was supposed to go to the Olympics and was supposed to
Are we
race
surprised
and
by Nike?
No.
yeah, but it's sad because you have this other African American women that performed well. They're sponsored by Nike, and yet they're not getting any sort of push, any sort of like commercials,
Right.
nothing. Like why are like I understand why we're pushing towards
And
Sha'Carri
it,
because like of everything that you guys said, but why not shift focus? We have all these other people that could
Yeah.
be posing these bigger influences on
it's
people and they can't
obvious.
because they're not given that opportunity. Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
I get it
It's
completely.
because they're Jamaican and they still got accents. That's why.
No, but for real though, how many track and field athletes or how many sprinters
None
come
that I
in
know
ninth
of,
and
shit.
still get an interview?
Yeah.
That's the major point DJ's talking about. She came in dead last, not close, by the way, not even close. And 3 out of the top 5 finishers were the Jamaicans, not one interview. Not one. So, I mean, obviously there was one, but the one that
they even asked
circled
her about
around
Sha'Carri Richardson,
was that one.
which is just like,
Yeah, like who the fuck does that, bro? I don't know. She was behind me, bro. I can no comment.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we know you won, but that girl that came in last, though, she's more important to us, more important to the community. So let's talk about her for a second. How do you feel about it?
To be fair, I didn't have a problem with any of the conversations going around her name since the marijuana thing till now. But what I did recognize was when you were cleared to do this race a week in advance, she was doing a little bit of woofing. She was like, "Oh, I'm back. I'm doing this, girl. Shh, you racing Jamaicans, okay? You need to really."
It's all about being
you see
humble.
how I said that? You racing Jamaicans, but that's not racist because I don't mean negative energy behind it. That was part of the last podcast, but anyway. You see what I'm saying? How you could be stereotypical, but if it's a positive thing, it's not racism. Yeah, miss me with the bullshit. You losing to Jamaicans is what I'm saying. You're not beating Jamaicans in a foot race. I'm sorry.
And I think it's crazy how Joey buried the lead, though. ESPN says gaming's a sport now.
Well, because the E and ESPN is entertainment.
Me hitting
So it's
these
on there.
buttons is now
I
plyometrics.
forget. I think they're.
Oh, somebody need to pay me for my 2K game.
Was
My
it
2K21 PGA Tour game. I
think
need
it
to
was
be
approved
paid.
for this last Olympics. But aren't they trying to make an Olympic level sport too? I'm pretty sure they're trying to make gaming an Olympic sport. I forget though. I don't know what they would play though either.
I would hope not.
Well,
I mean,
it's
If
don't
that's-
forget, it's
if-
the Olympic Games.
if that's the
The
if that's
title is
point,
Olympic Games. So
if
you
they
got to
put
remember
gaming-
that. Like,
if they
let's
put
be
gaming
honest,
in it, shoot,
the dancing stuff,
it's a sport.
because some of these events are sports, like how you have basketball and that is a game, but it's considered a sport. And then you have other ones that are graded off of, what do we
Talking about like gymnastics,
like the
stuff,
point system, but they have judges.
ice skating.
So there's not really a statistic. Exactly. There's no statistic to competitions that require judges. So the Olympics is a combination of all type of stuff, whether it has statistics or not. So I don't
just
see why
absolutely
gaming
can
couldn't
see,
be a part because
like-
it's a
like there
competition.
being an issue with like
Who can
bots
score
or
most?
something, like either an aim bot or like seeing through walls or something. Like I just see that coming right away. Yeah. So
Oh, they're gonna
they would
provide
have
it.
to. 'Cause
It's
they'll
not gonna
just
be
like-
bring your own
But
system.
then people
They're gonna
probably get
provide
upset
it.
too. They're like, "Man, this is my build, dope,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
no
what the
choice.
fuck, whatever,
yeah.
you know." What's up?
How do you
How
create
about-
an even playing
That's
field? You
pretty
have
hard.
to.
Well, I know how to create an even playing field. Give everybody the same
controller?
hacks. Give everybody the same
Wow.
hacks.
It's not.
They use it.
Everybody the same.
Use them. Like just like how we say sometimes.
That's hey,
Just
that's
like how
the
we say
same-
sometimes with baseball, we're like, oh, he's on steroids. Give everybody
let everybody
steroids.
do
Let's
it. Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Seen a video
Let's
like,
all
"Yo,
juice up.
Sha'Carri,
Let's
some
see what
horse
we can do
tranquilizer,
with
let's
this.
See how fast
Yeah.
you can really run.
if that
We should. That if baseball had a juice league, I would
Wild.
watch where everybody's juiced up. Oh, 120 mile an hour fastballs and
Crazy.
600-foot home runs. Oh, sign me up.
same thing could be said about football or like if you imagine everyone on roids and then everyone just trying to tear each other's heads off and stuff, man, it would be entertaining, but there'd be injuries every single year.
Them field goals would be
Just
crazy.
So much bloodshed, like the blood that Tony Hawk put into those skateboards.
Oh,
Oh,
my
bruh,
God.
bruh, you tied that in to the Lil Nas X comment from earlier.
I have
Jeez,
no
you saw
idea
he got
why.
mad.
I have no idea why he would do that in a skateboard. Like seriously, I tried to put myself into little suburban Timmy getting his first skateboard with the Tony Hawk blood in it, and I'm sitting here like, why?
Dude, Tony Hawk's DNA is in this board, bro. I'm gonna be able to 540 and 900 in no time. It's like, well, think about the fascination with the shoes and Like Mike. That had Michael Jordan's DNA essentially. We're talking about the same shit. But see, the argument that we got to bring it up because Little Nas X went to Twitter right away. Oh, so Tony Hawk can do it and he don't get no backlash and blah. No, bro. You got backlash because you was advertising Satan and people was not okay with that. The general population was not okay with that. It wasn't about you having a drop of blood. And Tony Hawk's was they mixed a few drops of blood in paint that they used to mark up. So it's actually exposed, and that's why Tony Hawk was like, "Hey guys, don't clone me." It's like, don't take the DNA off the board and don't clone me.
Well, the DNA is going to come
to
off.
Be honest,
anyway,
we should.
Because if they're at all good at skateboarding, the paint's going to come off.
It's a $500 skateboard. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad. Like I did not think it was going to be
that cheap.
I've seen memorabilia go for way over thousands, bro. 500 is not that bad, to be honest.
So I imagine the resale value on that, though, if you can get one, it's probably going to be astronomical.
Can you imagine people being
like 3 times the amount, like 1,500, 2,000, easy.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I won't lie. As a San Diegan, where Tony Hawk's kind of from the area, I feel like that's a clutch. It's kind of like a clutch piece to have in your collection. To be honest, I mean, any Tony, I'll take the Tony Hawk with the skeleton bird thing and maybe a signature. I don't have to have his blood, but I definitely got to cop me a Tony Hawk piece because that's a big part of my childhood. To be honest, big part of my childhood. Even though I wasn't a skateboarder, I did play Tony Hawk Pro Skaters, and all my friends skated. So it was Lords of Dogtown hit hard because of the Tony Hawk influence. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. That was made down here too.
500 bills, though. Sheesh.
Dedication. Speaking of dedication, this is just something I randomly noticed in like social media and stuff. Yes, it is. Which, by the way, there is a new PlayStation 5 that has been released. Not in America yet, but I think it lets it. There's not really any changes. I guess it can heat up more. It can like take more heat, basically. So like if you have an overheating problem with your PS5, then maybe it might be useful for you to get that. I don't know. Other than that, though, I guess there's no real changes. But that sucks.
Yeah, I can't wait for every YouTuber to be like, I got 10. I'm gonna give them away. And I can't wait for that to not be able to find them in stores. But Tyrone Magnus is getting sent 10.
Thank you. Why are you advertising the next level PS5 when you can't get the standard edition in all stores? Anyway,
what I was going to say though, besides the PS5 thing, I love him to death still. Like I'm just like everybody else, I guess. But man, do you guys think that the Nipsey Hussle thing is still kind of being overdone? As far as like people like posting stuff about him, posting his music for like like it's kind of like
his legacy.
He basically has like turned into like damn near Tupac and Biggie. Like everybody still posts about him, posts a picture of him or like some type of graphic where it's like his picture and then maybe something he said or something pertaining to dedication or this being their victory lap or something like that. Yeah, Marathon continues. Like I feel like, man, continues. Like he was, I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't famous, but I feel like I'm like, man, you guys are kind of doing an overkill on this. Like let that man rest a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he said some profound things. Don't get me wrong, for sure. And people have put it in their music. People have, I think what Tony Baker posted for like a year straight every day. He posted like something that Nipsey said. It was about like working hard to like get to where he was or whatever. It was like a list of stuff that Nipsey had said, I guess, or whatever. And he posted that every day for a year straight after Nipsey passed away. And I'm just like, dang, bro, like he's not doing that anymore, obviously. But I just like feel like every time I look through stories, especially, I see like at some point I'm gonna see something Nipsey Hussle, almost guaranteed now.
Well, I'll go first because I feel like I could say this out of us four. I think I was probably the biggest Nipsey Hussle fan throughout. Maybe I know when he first dropped. Well, I might be bullshitting a little. Daniel was early. I remember me and him talking about Hustle in the House way back way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
those days. But when Daniel actually left off to college, I was the one stuck going to the concerts right there on Bonita Road and East Street, watching Nipsey Hussle for $10. You know what I mean? So I've always been a big fan, but it's not like his music was better than other artists. You know, I was a fan because I got to enjoy watching him grow and improve as an artist. And even though he was saying some encouraging, smart stuff, progressive stuff, he's still a gangster. He's still saying shit that can get you in some trouble and still acting a certain way just because you dating Lauren, whatever, what's her name? But it is a little overdone. And one is because we're kind of on the West Coast, so maybe the people on your timeline show it a little more love because it's more relevant to this side. You know, maybe like consider that. But also, I don't know. I never knew he had so many fans apart from the few people that I knew. And you're right. It seems like a little overdone. I do feel a little guilty feeling like it's overdone because I am a fan. Why wouldn't I want people to like shine his legacy still? But I agree with what you said. It's very surprising, you know? And
Yeah,
let's be honest, he's not the only one. I hear stuff about XXX Tentacion every day. I see stuff about Juice World every day. I see stuff about Mac Miller every day still. So
yeah.
it just
I
depends
see
on
so
who.
many people posting. I see so many people posting Mamba mentality. I'm like, you are the laziest dude I know. What you talking about Mamba mentality for? Like,
Last in the gym, first out, head ass. Talk
for
about
real.
mama mentality.
Yeah, but it's completely overdone. I can understand people, having recency bias when it first happened and all that. Everybody want to flood the comments. Everybody wants to be first to say something, even though if he didn't even listen to Nipsey Hussle. But I hate
Yeah.
the fact that people can be dead and people can continue to make money off them, continue to make an image and build a foundation off people being dead and all that. And I feel like a lot of people could still do that in order to get some type of clout. Be like, you know who Nipsey Hussle is? You took a picture with Nip, or you posted this, and that. Oh, I'm gonna respect you a little bit more. Like that's what they're going for. That's what I feel like in my head. Like there's only a certain amount of people that were actually
For
messing
sure.
with Nipsey. Like he had his only real friends. Like there was a very short list, and you see a lot of these celebrities want to talk about him, and Nipsey was probably like, I don't even know you. If he was probably alive,
I feel like I also be feeling bad for like their the people that they left. You know what I mean? Like it can't feel like, well, obviously it probably hurts their friends and family that they left this world, obviously, and also, man, it's gotta really suck to have to keep talking about somebody that's gone, like years after they left. Like just the other day, uh, Big Boy asked Trippie Redd about like what did he learn from X and Juice passing, not just like regular stuff, but like what did you really learn from them? Like not like the like you're not promised tomorrow, the cliche stuff, but what else, or whatever. And it's just like, bro, like both of these guys passed away over a year ago. Why are you asking this man questions about people that he was close to like this? Same thing for like Lauren London. I remember there was like a hoax going around that she was pregnant supposedly or whatever, and then it's like, and people were so worried about it because like a Nipsey and stuff, and there was that too. But and then it's like it's messed up because it's like, man, I bet you like no matter what happens, if Lauren London decides to date somebody else, I bet you it'll make front page news and all kinds of headlines because they're gonna be like, damn, Nipsey rolling in his grave and all this and that. And it's like, bro, like the man passed away years ago. Like, what is she supposed to just be single forever? Like, let it go.
But let's be honest though, she got a lot of more
For
support
sure.
out of nowhere the day Nipsey died as well. So even though you're gonna see or hear about people backlashing, like, how could you do that? How could you? First of all, shut up. Okay, the girl's not even like, was she barely 30? Or you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna tell her to stop dating for the rest of her life? Stop it. And secondly, if you're under this theory that Nipsey's such a great guy, why wouldn't you think that in his mind and his spirit, he would want her to be happy, move on, and still, carry the love of his legacy? Like, what's
the marathon
Yeah.
continues. Right there.
It'd be so crazy, man.
exactly
I feel
crazy?
But people
Now, is
will
he
be
going to wait?
the first.
Is he going to wait in heaven for the next dude to die? to square up, probably.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
on
I thought of this. I thought of this question the other day. You know, like what's harder? You know, backing up Michael Jordan, like being the next great person to come into the Chicago Bulls organization, being the guy that takes over for Tom Brady, or being the next guy that dates Lauren London. Because it's like you got all three of these, you got some big shoes to fill, buddy. And especially with with the success Nipsey had, the notoriety he had, the
that's
business wise that he had. It's like even if she does choose somebody, I'm pretty sure it's going to be somebody that has to be better than that in her own time, either
but
at the same
that's
level or better.
it's not. But that's the thing. Like our definition of better, it's just different. Why?
Yeah.
How could you like if we're talking about better? That means every person that she's talked to or date after him, she's constantly comparing, and that's just not a fair. That's just not a fair shot at whoever that is and herself. Like she's not miserable. Yeah, she's gonna miss him, but she's not miserable. She's gonna date soon, and even if she does, she's gonna hide it just out of because she knows people.
Yeah, Kodak Black somewhere smiling.
Okay, so this is gonna get a little inappropriate. So cover your ears, kids. So this question directly pertains to you dying and having a significant other, right? So DJ is probably going to be able to answer this the easiest, more than anybody else's, because he actually has a significant other. So let's say let's
why they get the name of that?
Let's say you've been
bus?
with your
Lord.
spouse for
Is that a
10
Greyhound?
plus years, right? You guys are happily married, whatever. There's a tragic accident, you pass away, she survives, or whatever, right? So this is a two-part question. There's going to be two different questions. The first question is, how long, if you had the choice, how long till after you after you passed away, does she have to wait for her before she finds somebody else? And the second part of the question is, what would hurt you more? Like period. Like this is just in death, I guess, or even in real life, if this just happened to you, what would hurt you more, for your significant other to have sex with somebody or to suck their dick?
Wow.
What?
I wasn't expecting that second part.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, well, it went from possibly a really good answer to like
answer the first part.
Yeah.
Answer the time wise. How long after until she can find or be with somebody else?
So I'll
Well,
tell
first
you
of all, I'm gonna tell this to my future wife,
Yeah, go ahead.
whoever you are. If I die before you, I'm gonna haunt you. Whoever you try to date is getting
Don't you
haunted.
fucking think about it, bitch. Okay, because I'll come back.
So, this is now this is the weird thing too, because like Brandon, to answer your question, it's funny because me and Ashley have already had this conversation before.
I'm
We
sure.
both have said that if the other would die, we're probably not going to remarry. We're probably not going to get hook up with anybody. It's just going to be solo dolo for the rest of your life. And I don't know,
Boys.
like I don't know if I would like to believe that Ashley and I are on the same page and we would actually do that. And I don't know, like if you're asking me how long do I believe that I
Don't
would
let her hear you say that. I don't
before
know.
she can go date or whatever. I'm no, it's not gonna say I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know at all. I personally I love her to death. So for me, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't care if it was like a couple weeks, a month, a couple days after.
A couple
after
weeks?
I'm passed, it's her chance to move on.
I mean,
her chance to move
up
on.
to you.
I'm no longer
Hey,
holding her.
when I'm gone, I'm gone. What am I gonna do about it, pal? I'm
Yeah,
dead.
for real. I'm fucking dead.
I'll be real. For me, even though my partner is fictional at the moment, I think a year, once a year goes by, once you can get that first anniversary out the way, if you're stable, I think within a year or two, I'd be okay with you trying to talk to somebody else. Don't fucking get engaged, okay? I need some time. If you're gonna move on, and that depends how old we are. If we're in our 50s, how much time you got left? By all means, do what you got to do. I'm done here. You know what I mean? If I'm in my 30s, 40s, give me a couple years. Don't go get engaged and blah blah this and that, especially if there's kids involved. But so your other question, what's worse if that were to happen?
So at
Now,
first I
am
was
I
thinking about
dead
dead,
while
but
this
now I'm
is
thinking
happening,
just
or
in
this
general.
just in
Because
general?
if you're dead, you might not really care as much.
All
But let's
around?
say you had a significant other today, and then tomorrow you walked in on her and she was doing she was. What's worse for you, to see her sucking dick or to see her getting fucked?
What's worse? Okay. Okay. I'll be very honest, and I don't know why, because intercourse is the most natural. It's the most natural thing in life for us. That's what keeps people here. But it's head. Head is worse because sex,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
do that and not look at each other. And I know I'm nitpicking. I know I'm being very. And I guess technically, if he's hung like a fucking donkey, I guess you don't have to look at each other if you can just bend it whichever way. But I think it's much more personal, and there's a lot more effort going into fellating someone, and
Well,
I think that would break my fucking heart times 10.
Okay.
what I would say,
All right.
it doesn't matter because
That's
All
just
right,
me.
Mr.
Like,
Significant. All right, Mr. Significant Other tagging.
it don't matter.
Oh,
I was wondering where he walked off to. I'm like, bro, the disrespect. I was getting no. Jesus Christ, come
What-
back with the blicky. Okay.
It don't matter. It's both of them.
He said, "What's the question again?"
She go.
Horrible. Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean,
stupid
I
question,
don't know.
Brandon.
Everybody
You know
might feel
our
different. What about you,
actual
feelings.
Daniel?
Come on.
Daniel didn't
You
answer.
know.
for me, both are equally as terrible. Because either way, he penetrates.
Okay, so
Horrible.
Daniel's.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're both horrible.
Especially if she's one of those girls that's like, no, you got to stop talking to all your hoes to be with me. And it's like, no.
Exactly. Especially when I know every time you done slobbed on my knob, you looked up and gave me the gargle. You know, like if I'm already thinking in my mind what you do for me, if I'm like, did you? Bro, I'm telling
Why?
you,
You know the crazy
suicidal.
thing? So I think for most men,
Take me away.
It is definitely head, and I feel the same exact way. I don't. Yeah, it's like
Because
it's like,
even
did
when
you
they
suck his
cheat on you
dick?
with the coochie,
Like-
you always ask.
because
you-
like
did you-
it's because there's
did you suck
those
his dick?
it's that
look at
domination,
me.
like you said. There's that effort. There's all those things where it's like
The
you can kind
connection
of just give
to
some
it.
pussy up
It's-
and just be like, whatever, you know, like I'm not gonna fuck him again or whatever. But like when you're
He
sucking
pees
dick,
from
you
there.
have to actively make that choice, and you have to like you have to commit to this. This isn't something that
What was that? Wait. What was that song by Game made? He was like, she sucked my dick and then you kissed it.
oh my
And then
god,
it's all in the mouth.
Jesus.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
one.
like it's so
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
That's
it's
so
so much.
mamas.
It takes so
Yeah,
much more
you
effort
fucking
wanna
and,
not.
and determination to do that. And I would just never. That would hurt me
Worst
so much more. And
podcast
as
of
far
all
as me,
time.
I'm pretty much. I feel like
real.
me and Joy are like right a wavelength. Like about a year is good. Get past that first anniversary. I want to say like get like a good year of grieving out of the way. Cry for me randomly. You know what I mean? Like visit a couple places that we
Yeah.
might have been to. You know what I mean? Yeah, like just do all that and then just
Take a
like
shot
you know,
for
year
me.
came by. Oh man, it's been a year already. Damn. Then go ahead and do whatever you got to do after that. You know. But those are just some random questions I had, and I had one more, but it's way more tame.
That's nice and peaceful. That's nice and peaceful. Me, I'm turning it into a Conjuring for the rest of the day. If you gotta bring another man into my house, I'm throwing
Yeah, he-
tables.
Like I said,
I'm throwing
poltergeist.
chairs. The bed is getting tossed around.
Brandon stuck us between a rock and a hard place and asked us which side was more comfortable. The fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
This is
man.
horrible. Both is horrible. But to give you a real answer,
for sure.
head's worse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's
Head
no
is
way.
worse. Head is
The-
worse.
okay,
100%.
okay. So the dirty questions are done. I have one more. The last question I have for you guys was: all right, let's say you have a significant other, and this is very simple. It's meal based, so it's all good, right? Let's say you're playing video games, and then your significant other decides she's cooking or whatever, right? Let's say
God.
so I'm gonna throw in a couple other things. So let's say you get home and your wife's like, oh, I'm gonna go start dinner or whatever, right? So you decide to go start playing a game, like, oh, I'm gonna play this game while you're cooking or whatever, right? Then your wife's finished with dinner, right? So how do you approach going for the meal? Are you and pretty much go just take your answer from there. Just give your answer on how you would approach the meal. She says dinner's ready. How do you react? And you're in the middle of a game. You're in the middle of the game. Okay.
I finished my game. If it's online player mode, if there's no pause, you finish the game. She knew this.
Yeah, I don't
This
think
ain't the
it's that
first time I've been
easy
playing
anymore.
games.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Trust me, I
I've been married-
understand. There's gonna be times where
been
you just
married now
cut. I mean, to be honest though, cut the game. It don't matter.
Oh, don't forget how
Yeah.
long.
I've been married now for about 9 years, and it got to the point where
Too long.
in the beginning, in the beginning, I was in that similar thing where it's like, I'm playing the game. Let me just finish the game. Now that I'm older and found out that she's a better shot than me, now the game don't matter. Now I could just go eat dinner with the family.
I don't. Well, I don't understand how couples just don't work together. She sees you playing the game. She cooks dinner. Bring the plate.
So this also stemmed from something that I saw
Here you
on
go.
Twitter because that's that. So like I had two pictures and I might use it for the cover or the title picture or whatever, right? But it was a picture of a dude getting a meal and then he was playing a game or whatever, and he had like the meal was coming to him in one hand, he had the controller in the other hand. And then the next picture was him still on the game, and the plate of food was to his side on the couch or whatever, right? Which like, in for most guys, or like most average dudes that maybe have barely been dating for somebody for a little while or whatever, that's kind of like to be expected or whatever. Okay, I'm on the game. She brought me some food. All right, I'm gonna start eating this afterwards or whatever. Some people might even they'll like tear up the meal while they're eating while they're playing or whatever. Like in the middle of a game, they kind of taking bites or if it's hot as fuck or whatever, just fresh off the stove or whatever. But yeah,
all up in the mic with the mess.
but a bunch of
Where we dropping?
a bunch of the women that were replying to this though were saying things like, "Oh, like how come you can't just turn the game off? How come you can't? Why do you got to turn the game on at all? Like it's not going to take that long for the food to be ready." Like kind of interjecting a bunch of things, and it was just kind of like I had came to the post and a lot of people liked it surprisingly, but I came to the post saying like, well, if she started cooking food and I went to go play a game, there's no harm in that. It'd be different now if like the food was done or like hella close to being finished and then I wanted to go on the game all of a sudden. Yeah. And then and I was like, or even like I'm playing the game, I'm in the middle of a thing, she brings me some food and then I continue to play the game like almost I'm gonna go sign her to the match or whatever. Like those are kind of rude and disrespectful and show you don't really care about her time or her effort that she's putting into the food that she's making for you and potentially maybe even having a sit down meal with your significant other. But if I'm in the middle of a game already and my significant other decides to make a meal or is making food and then decides to bring it to me and I don't like right away put the controller down and start eating it, then it's like I would hope that she would understand that I'm playing an online game. As soon as this is finished, I'm gonna eat this food for sure. I'm gonna tear it up because I know I don't got you in here cooking food because you suck at cooking. So I know this is bomb. I know it smacks. So I'm not going. Don't think that I'm about to just waste this food. Just because of this game. This game's finna end in like 5-10 minutes tops. Food's getting tore up.
Couple things here. One is every relationship's different. So for people to make all these crazy statements, oh, you ain't shit if you this kind of person, every relationship has a different dynamic. There's times where everybody feels a little more edgy than other days and so on and so forth, where you're in a good mood. Oh, he's on the game, he'll eat it when he's ready for it. Don't worry about it. That ain't your relationship. I know we talk for the sake of conversation, we bring it up, but in the grand scheme, it's like all these people who arguing back and forth. Just stay in your lane. That's one. Two, from a fat perspective, it depends on what the food is. If it's a cold plate, I ain't in no rush. If you give me something that tastes like shit once it cools off, yeah, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's just some food you can't let, any plate. Go ahead.
I want to do a shout out, to all the couples out there where the dude is playing the game. The girl or the wife cooks the meal. He's in the middle of the game, and she says, "Give me the controller."
Oh,
Go
that's
eat.
fire. That's fire too.
I'll finish the game for you.
My wife does that.
That's a keeper, right there. If that's you, if you're listening right now, you got yourself a keeper.
Let's also
Yes,
not
that
dismiss
too.
the girl
That
gamers
too.
who have men who cook.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
a good
obviously
point, too.
it's
Yeah.
not one vibe, but you know,
I actually cook more than Ashley does in most cases. I find cooking
Go
as one
ahead.
of my like hobbies, so I do it all the time. And obviously, me, Brandon, Ashley just got finished playing Dead by Daylight, so he already knows that Ashley games with us. So I'm kind of in that other aspect. But the only difference with me, whenever it comes to like
Yeah,
eating
you
food,
you
is
better
that,
be.
like, go ahead.
delay.
I was gonna say, you better be
Delay.
cooking.
Huge
People
delay.
be forgetting how long you've been married.
Oh, hey! I didn't forget how long I was married. I was just trying to. It was
That's
the
true.
delay, man. The delay happened. I had to like. I would try not to cut
Think about it
anybody
a little
off and all
bit.
that stuff.
Feels like it was just yesterday. That's you can't lose with that one, man. It feels like just yesterday I got married. Look the same way the day I met her. You know, you just got to stick to
Yeah.
those cliches. You'll be all right.
But
Yeah, for real.
there's not too much more on the docket. We can go into the Afghanistan stuff unless you guys have anything else you guys want to mention before that.
Grant.
Let's talk about these monkeys doing the crate challenge,
he
falling, breaking their arms, breaking their necks, killing themselves.
my God. You saw that shit? Oh, there was a white dude. There was a white dude that did it that destroyed his
arm.
wrist. Open
bone
fracture,
popped out,
everything.
yeah.
That shit looked bad.
Oh, I
Yep.
see.
Interesting, yeah. I've
Compound
seen actually
fracture. You
there
saw
was
the thing
there's
that-
two different ones I've seen where some white boys did the
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
One was like they were both in parks, but one was like at nighttime and one was in the daytime. The one in the daytime, he just kind of broke his arm and it was kind of like dangling, kind of like the King Cobra from what's that old show back in the day? Scarred, where like the kid broke his arm on that little ramp. That's what it kind of looked like. It was just like hanging there or
Scarred.
whatever, right? But this other guy though, the one at night, the bone was poking out of that dude's arm and he was leaking blood. Super gross, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh
Nasty.
man, that was all bad. That was all bad.
And you know what? Some
Yeah.
people are finally catching on because let's be honest. A lot of the people who are doing this aren't physics majors, so a lot of people are finally catching on to the theory that if you do it
even
faster,
people that were doing it
you have a
fast,
higher
they
chance
were
of
they're
success.
messing up. Like there
Because
was like
the
that
longer
black dude who kind of like almost like sprinted up there, and he made it to the other side, and then everything fell over, and he just fell face first.
Well, you have to do it
Yeah.
fast, but still with a flat
Yeah.
foot. Like
You
it's
still
there's
gotta be.
you can't
still gotta
just-
be like, yeah.
But
It's like
there
a
was that guy
sport,
who
dude.
rolled the
You're
joint
doing
up
something
there. He
physical.
took his sweet ass time.
yeah, but he weighed about 90
You see
pounds
the
as
dude
well.
on the bike
So
that was trying
only
to
the
go up there on
wind
a
was
bike?
working against him.
Bro, he's lucky he didn't get injured. There was somebody who did they did like 2 extra crates at the top, and she was in stilettos, and then like it was like weird how they had it set up, but bro, if she would have fell from the top, she fell from the top one, but then like hit another stack on the way down. So then like that low key like softened the blow because she hit something else
That's
first,
the
and then she hit the
scary
ground.
part.
And I was
Broke
like,
her fall.
if she would have just fell from if she fell
Yeah.
from the top to the bottom, it would have been over. It'd have been over.
I don't feel no ways for
Crazy,
anybody
man.
getting injured during any of these activities.
I hate seeing that
this
shit.
this is the best part about having. Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck?
for sure.
I'm smart to know that. Yeah, I don't need to bust my ass to
Yeah.
say what.
I have.
What
I
are
have
y'all
lose-
actually? Y'all swear like, oh, if you can beat the crate challenge, you gonna get that extra stimmy.
Yeah, for real. I have
It's not
weak ass ankles. Every
Just,
time I see
just
those,
go
it
keep
just-
busting your
it
ass.
scares the shit out of me.
I saw one that was so messed up. Like, you know how it's supposed to be built like a pyramid, right?
Yeah.
And it's 1, 2, 3 all the way down. I saw somebody say, "Hey, yo, climb up this." It was 1, 2, and then it was like
Jesus
3
Christ.
stacked, and then the one on the top. they gave him all the way. There was no way he was making that
Oh
because
my
he'd have to
God.
jump to get to the 3rd stack. I was like, oh my lord. He still tried it though. I
But when we
busted his
try to
ass
get,
and I laughed.
but when we try to get society to
Yeah,
come together
for
and do
sure.
positive things, we can't get it showing.
Mm.
But let's stack some
Everybody was
crates.
like,
All these motherfuckers go
people
show
were
out
saying like,
now.
where the fuck did all these crates
I'm
came from?
so
I never
fucking
seen that
tired of
many
this
crates
shit.
in my life. Lawrence, I guess, looked it up, and like at Walmart, they were selling like milk crates for like 45 cents. That's fucking crazy, bro. Like,
They not gonna miss out on their money.
Yeah, for real.
I can see one positive out of this.
$20
though.
for or 20 packs.
One positive.
One positive. If you want to get put on, people are like, nah, you got to make it over these crates.
Yeah.
Bro, not when 88%
and
of
then I
everybody
think,
doing
and
this
then I
crate
think that
challenge
like
doesn't have
it was like
insurance.
Ace
Like, I'm
Hood
sorry,
or
it's not a good
some
idea.
other rapper, I forget who, made like a comparison about like this just like black folks in the community and stuff like that. Like everybody like can't wait to laugh at your downfall or whatever. They're not trying to build you up and all this. It was just crazy comparison, and a lot of people ran with it. Like, oh man, he's spitting facts. This is this that and the third. I'm like,
Metaphorical.
bro, it's just a bunch of dumb motherfuckers walking up some crates and falling on their ass. Like, it's not like it ain't that serious. It really isn't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not that dumb shit.
I was like, if this was on
every couple of
Jackass,
months,
you
and it
wouldn't
gets
say nothing
reported
about
every
it.
couple of months. Remember when? Not a damn thing.
But
Not a
it
damn thing.
is crazy how
It did.
Americans
It got
can
banned
set
on
up
TikTok.
It's crazy how Americans can set up all these crates all over the country and Biden can't get nobody out of Afghanistan on time. Like it's amazing to me.
Jesus Christ, bro. I know DJ's gonna be pretty silent on this topic because he is active. Thank you for your service. He is active military. But the rest of us can talk shit.
So
I'm 12
be
years
honest.
in. I'm trying to
Let's be
finish,
honest.
man. We got 8 more
Regardless
years.
of who was president,
So I was following the Afghanistan
Do
stuff
what you gotta
for a
do.
while, and then I kind of just stopped because I didn't really know what was going to come of it or what was happening, and I'm still a bit confused. But I'm just gonna list off the things that I have so far, or whatever. Right. So from what I could have sworn happened, the U.S. Army pulls out of Afghanistan after like 20 years. Right. Taliban pretty much immediately overtook the country. Bagram Air Base fell to Taliban. They released like 5,000 Taliban and Al Qaeda prisoners. The Afghan president evacuated to Dubai with like 169 million. Women are being removed from schools. Pictures and paintings of women are being removed. Video surfaced of the Afghanis falling off the airplane and hanging off the airplane. They took like over 650 Afghan evacuees to another city. I forget what the city was, but they did get some people out of there in some of those planes.
well, they took 150 and 500
Well, it was.
took the liberty
I know
of
they
taking themselves. It was crazy.
I know.
People was
I know one of the
really
planes,
trying
they
to get
decided
out
to
of there.
let a bunch
Like it
of
was
people come onto the plane to get them out of there because they pretty much knew what was going to happen. That was okay. It was Qatar. They went from Kabul to Qatar. The U.S. Army left loads of equipment, obviously, and supplies while leaving the bases, and basically, they had also handed the Afghan military some supplies too, like after they left. But then obviously all of that stuff, military vehicles, helicopters, weapons, water, energy drinks, things of that nature, like supplies, all pretty much taken over by the Taliban. So
taken
so
over.
and now I'm a little bit confused now because then I heard the story of the Taliban talking about they were going to execute a plan of attack if if America didn't pull out of Afghanistan, which confused me because I thought it was going to be
2 days.
because I thought we were already gone, but I guess people were still there. And then originally they said they had until the end of the month, and I guess 2 days ago, right? There was a suicide bomber that ended up killing, I think, 11 Marines and somebody from the Navy and somebody from the Army, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of them were young too. Like it was like I think there was like a
Correct.
23-year-old staff sergeant, and a lot of people were like lance corporals. Like E4s and like below and stuff like that. A couple E5s and then like one E6, which is like usually indicative of like you not having been in the military for that long. Obviously. So lost a lot of lives, unfortunately, that day, and also I think like 20 other people were injured from that attack as well. Obviously, the internet is kind of in an uproar about it, mainly because people are attacking Biden about it, feeling or expressing that they feel that the president is weak, the president is incapable, things of that nature. People are saying let's get Trump back and so on
He
and so
is.
forth.
So
It's
is the
just kind of
last
an
one.
internet shitstorm right now in terms of Afghanistan. And I had posted a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. I think you see it, Joey, where I said like, man, you know the fucked up thing is that like at the end of the day, like nobody cares about the lives of the men and women that serve this country that's like protected and go overseas to fight in other wars or to help other countries out or whatever. And nobody obviously cares about the men and women in other countries because at the end of this, it's like everybody has stopped caring about the lives. And then like, or maybe you care about the lives one moment, and then the next moment is like, oh, it's the president's fault. And it's like, it for whatever reason, it's like you
Yep.
you diminish the significance of the lives lost, and then start focusing on the political aspects of it all. Like, oh, I want Trump back, or Biden's incapable, or whatever. And it's like, who the fuck cares about that man? The fact of the fact of the matter is these lives were lost, and we can't get them back, regardless of whose fault it is. People, this has been a cycle in America and other countries for generations upon generations, generations, centuries and centuries, ago. Old men create problems, and then young men pay for it. That's always what happens. That's what's continuing to happen. That's what will continue to happen. Yeah, it's going to stay that way forever. And
It's gonna stay that
until
way.
I don't know,
Yeah.
all that I could think of was to let these old motherfuckers fight. Fuck that shit, let them square up and fucking deal with all that bullshit. Y'all got a problem, y'all
Well,
handle it. Fuck all that.
it's
Exactly.
it's not even that though.
Y'all do it.
It's not going to be until the government officials, instead of being like, I saw something on TikTok the other day, and then TikTok it has its own little shit, but uh, it's not going to be until there's a law that puts into place where government officials aren't in there for the money. Because how many of these government officials are getting paid exponential amounts of money to basically decide what our lives, how they're going to be, how we're going to live our lives. If you get government officials that
Yeah.
get paid the average median of a mid-class American, you'd see a lot more of them care more about our livelihood as opposed to what it is now. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, yeah, the loss of life, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's
And
see.
it
Let's see
obviously
how
brings
much
up,
you care. You're
yeah,
not getting paid for this.
it brings up all this stuff, and it sucks. Like all this loss of life, it can be, it's not that it can be like stopped, but people are looking for that, for us to fight back. When being the weak
Yeah.
president sucks, but everyone's going to look for a political avenue.
Right.
It's how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
It's all. Yeah. It's always gonna fall
And then
in the hands of the president, even though there's. I'm gonna say hundreds of
and then
people behind all
it always
these
sucks too
decisions
for like the young people
all the
that
time.
are in the military,
So
because
Obviously,
you got people that are not in the military yet, probably in high school, maybe even middle school people, and they're seeing what happened, and they get angry about it, they get upset, like, oh, I want to fight, I want to do something about this. And you got people who are just getting into the military, they're like, I'm ready to go back, I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to go help, whatever, that's what I got in here for. But then like you don't even like, they might not even realize at the time that there's a whole rules of engagement that prevents you from even doing half the stuff that you would probably be glad to do before you can actually, or train to do. So then it's like
or trained to do,
people are shooting
or
at you,
even
and you're having
trained
to
to do.
ask.
You might not even be able
You're
to
having
execute that.
you're having to ask if it's okay for you guys to do something about it. Like it's just crazy how like it seems like it would be great. Like, oh, I can go out there and fight and help and all this stuff, but it's like it's not that simple. If it's because we are the quote unquote good guys that we decide to have these rules in place that ultimately harm us more than they harm anybody else.
That's what I don't agree with. Why is the United States, and let's be fair about this, the United States is still the newest country in the world. I mean, I don't want to, dismiss maybe smaller countries
Yeah.
that have formed in the last 400, 1776. But we're the newest nation. Now, regardless of where our people came from, we're fucking here now. We don't really run shit. And somewhere along the way, our government and presidents have made it seem like we run shit. And a lot of people don't like us just for that reason. Just like, I don't like people like that. People who are self-proclaimed and people who are, like, give themselves credit when it's like, what the fuck have we done? All we do is win the Olympic Games. That's all we fucking really do. And not to discredit America. We're great, land of the free, blah, blah, the spiel. But like, a lot of people don't like us simply because of the old people. that created the vibes, which is why we have now. I don't necessarily agree with being the main, like you said, the babysitter for all of these countries, part of the UN or whatever it may be. Why? How many of those countries are right next to Afghanistan that
exactly.
ain't helping as much as the United States? Y'all look after your little brother and sister. We got problems over here, and the reason why, like you said, Brandon, our civilians, our people, they don't care about foreign issues, and because we have homeland issues that we feel not only are never going to be fixed, the government doesn't want to fix them, and we feel like there's still things like racism and shit going on. Like, why do we care about what's going on in other places? We can't fix the small things here. So you're right. There's a lot of people, it's me included, there's a lot of people who feel like I feel bad for other places that go through this stuff, but shit's not peachy keen here either. You know what I mean? It's not all obviously we're not a third world country. I totally get that. But why do we have to sit in a place where, like they said, the people who we trained and offered resources to don't even want to fight for themselves? As soon as we pull out whoever we got, instantly weak. Now, does that say a lot more about America being a stronger nation with more, with a better military set of rules? Possibly, yeah, sure. I'm very confident in our military. As you can see, you guys are bright people. If other people like DJ and Brandon served in the military, I'm very comfortable with our military. Although everybody's not like that. There are some fucking idiots. But what are we supposed to do? We keep people in other places of the world to watch out for other people. All like when does it stop?
It's
And
just
maybe it's
hard.
not all Biden's fault. And of course, there's people
Yeah.
online. The politics. It's hard, dude. It's hard to talk about politics, especially when people are losing lives. What's the
Yeah.
actual important part? Like, what do you actually change that's important?
What about you, Daniel? Are you with the
Don't
Taliban or what? You over there quiet?
See, this is why we. Oh, before you go, I just want to give a local update. I heard that 11 of the deceased American military people were actually stationed out of Camp Pendleton, and also it was a count
San
of
Diego.
20 students / family members from El Cajon in San Diego stuck in Afghanistan as well.
For sure.
So thoughts and prayers, T's and P's to everybody involved in all that stuff. But yeah, the photos of people
wild.
dropping from
Yep.
airplanes and stuff was pretty graphic. Brought back memories of the 9/11. You imagine somebody trying to hold
know.
on. How long is that flight?
to Qatar. I don't know how far it
Hours.
is.
Where were they going?
Yeah.
How you were gonna hold on to the outside of a plane for hours? That's
they
just
would have
think,
died. They almost within a minute of being up there, they would have died because of the air pressure and
The
all
air-
that.
They would have
the
passed out
temperature and all. They would have died. There's like holding on to that plane to death sentence. But
even before all that. Yeah, they would have passed out before they even got past or up to that atmosphere.
crazy.
But yeah, me originally seeing those first photos of them, holding on to the plane, like I felt terrible because it's just like these are the Americans. We've been there helping them out for 20 years and all that. Holding them, watching their back and all that, trying to teach them how to defend for themselves, against the Taliban and all that. And then when it seems like they needed us the most, we were just hightailing it out of there, just like their president. Their president was
Just like
like
the
the first
Avatar,
person
when
out
the
the
world
country.
needed
That's
us
amazing
most.
to me. How the dude that you
How exactly? And that was a sign
That
to
they don't
tell
care.
a lot of us citizens, American citizens, how bad am I supposed to feel when the one person who should have the most pride in your land hopped on a plane and bounced,
with all
and
your
now
money.
it's our fault? That's not fair, dude. That's just not. It's tough. It's a tough situation. Yeah, he left. Did he have to take 170 million with him? Probably not. But it was either in his pocket or the Taliban's pocket. So what was he supposed to do?
And I don't
Went to
understand
Dubai.
where
Went to
where are
Dubai.
you going? Everybody knows who you are.
The Taliban knows. They have social media. They have burner accounts in American Facebooks and Twitters and stuff. They're not stupid. They live in the desert and they they act like they're
Because
just savages and they know what the fuck they're doing. Hey,
No,
whispers
that,
are not whispers. You can't change none of that.
But yeah, it's a terrible situation, and
right.
hopefully it gets better soon.
But man, but I can't stand, when I read the news reports and all that, and I watch stuff on YouTube, about, the failure to get people out, because there was people that he sent in planes like the
Yes.
first or the second of the month. If you were planning on taking people out, why weren't you just like secretly, all right, you guys, this whole block inside this building, everybody pack up your desks, because in the next 2 days the plane's coming. You could have done that over and over again this entire month, and by the time Al Qaeda was just like, or the Taliban was like, okay, everybody needs to be out, this and that, like, oh, we're already gone. The only people here, is the last shipment out of here. And I don't understand just
Yo,
leaving.
yeah.
Like I would have definitely jerry rigged all of them weapons and everything that we left. Be like, just in case they got into the wrong hands, boom.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Boom. Yeah.
There's all kinds of
Exactly.
contingency plans that should have been taken into consideration, and for I don't know for what god awful reason they weren't. I mean, rigging weapons to explode for sure. Freaking even just pulling out of the country, like even if you had to do it by land, like just get the people out of there. Go to the next safest place or the next safest country that you guys have. There's all kinds of vehicles that the military has. Like I said, there was government vehicles left there. There was military vehicles left there. There was helicopters left there, and you just decided to just let's everybody go to this
It's
one
just
spot and then like wait for us there. We're gonna come back and get you guys. Like
it's just hard when you don't like just think about like the physical aspect of going to a place that you don't really know. So like all these soldiers or military going to Afghanistan, they don't know any citizens. Like they don't know any citizens for real. You don't know that you may have been talking to somebody at a market and the whole time he's Taliban, and until
Yeah.
the strike happens, you didn't know. You know what I mean? So you don't.
Mhm.
So people. So you got the people, the theorists online talking about politics and war, talking about. Well, see, that's why we should have just bombed the whole place anyway. We should have been trying to sneak people out, and that way we could just do what we got. It's like, dude, what? That's why. Just mind your fucking bit. Like
Oh yeah. That
it's
reminds me too.
hard.
Since
Uh-huh.
Biden has left open the borders, they've caught in like 13 or something terrorists have just come into the country, open borders, they've gotten arrested. I think they were out of Yemen or something like that. They
crazy.
came straight into the border. They I don't know how they got here, but I saw a report that they have arrested a bunch of them
That's crazy.
stateside just because the borders are wide open right now. Is that happening under Trump? I don't
Tough.
know.
Hey, and all the people, and like you said, Daniel, all the people who are online talking about that we failed to pull people out and we failed to do this, we failed to do that. What if the government would have put on the news? Okay, we're gonna need an extra 2% tax increase on everybody so we can make sure we can continue to take care of this other place. Now, where's all the people talking about? We should have did more to protect them. We should have did till it's hitting your pockets. Let's see if you like that. Let's continue to keep putting our finances, and not to mention, how are we funding all this stuff for all these other countries and we're still in debt to China up the ass? How are we paying that back when we're constantly like, bro, how do you
Like
fill
we're,
up somebody's cup when your pitcher is empty? Like, I just don't understand. That's why,
it's my
and
third party, Federal Reserve, third party.
I don't know, man. I respect the military. I don't know much about politics. I just have my personal thoughts on people and communication between people. But there needs to come a time where everybody just kind of stays in their own lane. There's going to be evil people in the world. We're not going to be able to stop things like the Taliban from existing and new forms of the Taliban, ISIS, everything like that. You think that just because we help somebody out, there isn't other evil people plotting all the time? We believe that the evil people in our country are controlling it. So what are we
Right,
supposed to
right.
do? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I felt for the very first time, I actually felt like super racist because everybody was telling me about Taliban and ISIS. I thought they were all the same thing, and then they were like, "No, they're different." and I was just like, oh my god,
Where are people from the Taliban from?
I've been putting them all in the same box this entire time in my head. Just me being the average American
I don't think
out here and all that.
I don't think I don't think the people who are being terrorized in Afghanistan are gonna care if you group the ISIS and Taliban together. I think they're like equally they're still killing us. So you can go ahead and group them in there with Satan and Stalin and Hitler and group them.
He said with Satan and Stalin.
Speaking of Satan, Donda.
Taliban, which refers to itself as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. So it's Afghani people. It's literally just Afghani people who are anti-government, take it over. Okay, so you got a new president. Either get out or, and that's what sucks. They're stopping people from getting out. They're telling women to stay home. They're telling right. That's the it's wrong. It's wrong. In America, it's wrong, right? But how long has this stuff been going on in other places of the world that we don't understand? Women in Saudi Arabia can't show their ankles without getting stoned. Are we fighting against that still? Or are we just gonna let it like
only thing I can
what
think
are we
of doing is
supposed to
listening
do for real? America is just an intimidation factor with weaponry at some point. That's what we are to all those smaller countries. We're an intimidation factor. But when when worse comes to worse, what happens?
Yeah.
We fucking run back. Like that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, Donda.
So I listened to like 2 songs and I accidentally
I haven't finished all the way through.
I think Jail and then another one like way down the list. That thing is almost 2 hours long. It's like 27 tracks. There's I don't know if there's on
why is there 2
Spotify
of them?
it only showed 1 when I looked up Kanye, so I don't know. But it's
I found one that's an hour and I think it's an hour and 49 minutes long, and the other one was an hour and 44 minutes.
Well,
long.
I heard
that's the trick. That's the trick because you're.
Well, I heard.
I make everybody wonder why they gonna listen to both of them.
It got removed from one of them or some shit like that. Like somebody had posted like, "Damn, Jail Part 2 got removed." Like right when I was about to get to that song or some shit like that. So I don't know. And then apparently already Kanye's saying that Universal put that album out without his permission. There's Chris Brown posted on his story. Kanye tweaking and like fuck him or some shit like that. I don't know what he did to him, but it doesn't look like everything is copacetic right now. Even Jail Part 2, it had DaBaby. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
It reverted back. There's only 1 now. Excuse me. But there was 2 because I commented that right away. But there's only 1 now.
That's what
hour and 49.
That's what I'm saying.
So
he probably got
the first time.
He probably got extra numbers, extra clicks for that. Forever, how long the 2 albums was up.
But
couple hours, yeah.
Take that.
It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people thought he was going to go head to head with Drake because Drake did the whole September 3rd thing, and then I think Kanye announced that he was going to drop September 3rd, that he was changing it again. So he thought he was going to go head to head, but it turns out this happened. Go ahead.
I have a question. Do people think that Drake and Kanye, I know their age difference is probably 7-8 years, but do people think that Drake and Kanye are really of the same era?
I don't.
I know it's a hard question because technically Drake started in like 2008, 9ish, and Kanye was already slapping in 2003, 2004.
It was already he was already on 808s and Heartbreaks, I think, around that time.
He was
already well established into his career. I don't think that people think they're from the same era. I just think that people think they're just 2 of the biggest artists in the world right now. So like, yeah. So like,
their platform that they're on is similar enough to be compared.
Some people think that Drake would win because like all the women love Drake. Period. For the most part, like they love him.
I'll be honest. If they went head to head, and I love Kanye's music, his best, like if you take your favorite top 5 Kanye songs and your favorite top 5 Drake songs, I just might edge out Kanye just a little bit. But when you're talking about a catalog and not just the hits, stuff with good lyrics, stuff with good melody,
Same.
I might have to
I
take Drake.
personally don't think he's ever made an album that missed, even though some people like to think that. But I think that
It's a
Kanye
tough
has
one,
had some
but
misses. Like
that's
even like
true.
808s and Heartbreaks for me, that was an album that took a long time to like.
And
That was an
Donda.
album that took a long time to grow on me. I did not like that album first off the riff. Like his first two albums, Kanye's first two albums, solid. Graduation was still good too, but I just didn't think it was quite as good as College Dropout or Late Registration. 808s and Heartbreaks took a long time for me to get to actually like it.
Agreed.
My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, a fantastic album, obviously. Um,
And let's not forget, while all those albums that you mentioned was going on,
yeah,
that was just his
So
his
much more,
projects.
yeah.
He was producing
yeah.
for many other people in that time. So the legacy
Indisputable.
of Kanye at that time was so high because you weren't just rapping and
yeah.
singing, you were doing some
I
Pharrell
feel
level
like
producing as
Drake
well.
Drake
So,
also has, and this is
it-
crazy.
you know,
Drake has come to the point where it don't matter who's on the song with him, people will listen to it because Drake is on it. And even goes to show as far as like RDC World put out a video where he was like, it was like randomly rapping and he was like, oh, Drake, they said I got the Drake feature. It don't matter what I say. Hell yeah, I'm about to be put on. I'm about to be put on. And then like a week later,
I saw
that really happened. This guy came out with a song. I don't even know the guy's name. It's he's rapping horribly. He sounds terrible. And then Drake gets on and saves it. And then it goes back to him. And it's like, all right, I'm done listening to this song, basically, you know? But it's just like, yeah, exactly. Like the
kind of the same with J. Cole
feature
too.
monsters, feature
Jermaine.
monsters overall.
Cole.
I don't know.
Hey,
Absolutely.
hey, you just got to show homage to the greats. Sometimes they get on the track and bless it. I feel the same way about Andre 3000. I felt the same way about Lil Wayne, and low key still do. I feel the same way up. You know, there's
who
just some
always
people when you
surprises
see their
me?
name
You
on
know
the
who
track,
always
you're like, oh
surprises
yeah,
me when they're on a track together.
I'm
Lil
gonna
Wayne and
listen.
Tyler. I think there is something. I think there is something
They
about
go
Lil Wayne working
hard,
with Tyler
bro.
the
They go
Creator
so hard
that
together.
unlocks something else in it. Lil Wayne goes to a different place when he's with
Taps
Tyler the
in,
Creator,
bro.
and you can
Goblin.
hear it versus when he's with other people. And
Goblin.
I'm surprised that nobody has talked about that yet, but I think that is so significant. He is not the same Lil Wayne when he raps with Tyler the Creator. There's no way.
Preaching right now. You preaching because and that's how you can tell that Tyler listened to Lil Wayne because you're like I can't go loose on this track. I can't go loose on this track. I got to show out. And that's the Lil Wayne effect. That's the that's the greats effect. You're not gonna get caught slacking on a track with J. Cole or Kendrick because it's like even if this has to be a little talented because if it's not, they're gonna shit on me. So, or even to be honest, you can't even slip on a track that got Big Sean on it. Big Sean will embarrass your ass as well. People don't talk about him like that, but
also,
he will.
I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't really listened to much music today, or so since I've heard about this. But I also found out today that West Side Gun's new album, Hitler Wears Hermes, it also dropped. I think it's actually number 8 in the series. So that also dropped too. So if you guys like West Side Gun,
Damn.
I know the whole Griselda collective has kind of been popping lately. Check that out if you guys have a chance as well. Anybody got any movies or TV that they've kind of been fucking with recently or watching? We did not talk about that last time.
The Spider-Man trailer
definitely dropped finally. It looks like we have like a multiversal Sinister Six. We haven't got confirmation on Toby and Andrew for sure being in the movie yet because they weren't in the trailer, but I'm sure they're probably going to be there. But we officially did get Doc Ock from Spider-Man from the original Spider-Man trilogy. We for sure got a Goblin Bomb or a Goblin Bomb from Green Goblin as well. We saw the lightning from Electro and potentially Sandman. A lot of people are saying it's Sandman. Some people say that it's just the lightning hitting the ground and like kicking up dirt or whatever. So Sandman might be a little bit iffy. Some people are saying that we saw Lizard and there's like a room with like a big figure. They're saying that's Lizard. What else is there? I think that was it for those. We got to see Peter in his new suit. We got to see him going up to Doctor Strange, asking about, trying to get his name change or his name erased from everything. But the spell messes up when Peter realizes that's going to affect his friends and his family as well as so Aunt May, MJ and fucking and Ned. You know, potentially Happy and some other people too. We see that it's kind of causing stress in his life that you know Mysterio is dead or at least seemingly dead. But we have yet to know for sure who the a potential sixth member of the Sinister Six will be, and we have yet to find out for certain if you know the other two Spider-Man will be in the films. 100% certain, or how, or let me not say for certain because I'm sure they will be, but we don't know the extent to which they will be in the movie, how much of the movie they'll actually be in versus like you know it's just Tobey Maguire or it's just Tom Holland, you know. But we'll find out soon. I'm sure there's gonna be another trailer.
Was
There's also people that are
was
speculating that
was Kingpin in that
Mephisto
trailer,
would be
or
in
did
it
I
as
miss
well.
it?
Yes, because of the devil thing. There's the Mephisto thing is kind of like a meme now. Every time that something new from Marvel comes out, oh. Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, we're
I
back.
don't know what exactly happened, but I was in the middle of talking about Spider Man. Um, yes, the Mephisto thing. Uh, it's possible. It always is possible. He could do a lot of. He's basically the devil. He could do a lot of things. So it's always possible. I don't think so, but we'll see. People are talking about Charlie Cox also appearing in the trailer, but uh, there's like a
Charlie
guy
Cox.
who plays a daredevil. There's a guy with like a white shirt who slams down like a stack of papers. People aren't sure if that's him or not. It could be. It also might not be. We don't know yet. Hasn't been like an official like this is Charlie Cox in the trailer yet. So we'll see if that's actually the case or not. Um, and then I think Joey mentioned earlier, Candyman, right? Candyman dropped. I've heard some good things, some bad things, but I mean overall, I heard it's worth the watch. So I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, that was all the news I had for movies and
For sure, for
television.
sure. Anybody been watching anything or see anything that they want to talk
Yes,
about? Go ahead.
yes. Well, I've been watching and reading this new series because it's watching it in English is just stupid. Um, it's this show on Netflix called Ragnarok,
Oh, Record of
and
Ragnarok.
it's in yeah, but it's in Norwegian. I actually watch it in Norwegian. It's kind of weird. Like if you were to
What
walk
the
past my
fuck?
living room with the window open, and then like
Nor Norwegian, Hugendagen. They talk like that? Like,
yeah,
gee,
like for real, they're speaking like that.
That's
that's
fucking
annoying.
It
hilarious.
works though.
Like, that's
That's
annoying.
hilarious.
Oh god.
But it was actually a pretty fun show. You know, you get to see it's basically the guy's the reincarnation of Thor, and the other guy's the reincarnation of Loki, and all that, and they wake up in this
Oh
world
no,
and all that. And
you're not
somebody,
talking about Record of Ragnarok. You're talking about the actual show Ragnarok, the live action show.
yes, the
Oh,
actual
okay,
show,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the actual show Ragnarok. It's actually been really fun because I finished it within like 3 days, like both seasons and all that because it was that gripping to me. So I definitely checked that one out. And there's this new movie that came out on Netflix as well. It's called The Old Ways. Like if my pastor's listening, like skip ahead 40 seconds. It's some real crazy bruja devils,
Oh man.
but it was fun. And it was fun.
Brujeria.
Like I turned it up super loud and it was scaring me. I was jumping in my own living room, but definitely check
Nice.
it out.
That's funny.
That's it for me
Check
though.
that out.
I guess for me, Snowfall. I don't think I mentioned that last time. I've watched all 4 seasons. It's a super good show. You get to see about. It takes place like in the 80s. Franklin is a pretty smart black dude in like the like you know growing up in like the ghetto. He
Franklin.
kind of gets
Every time I hear about a guy named Franklin from the ghetto, I just think Grand Theft Auto. Like that's
he gets involved in selling cocaine and then learns about turning it into crack and then just
so it is Grand Theft
basically
Auto.
makes the CIA
Jeez.
millions of dollars, and it kind of shows how like the CIA like funds wars and does all this kinds of stuff. It's really crazy and wild, and it's a good time though. You guys should definitely check it out. Um, and I think that's about it. I've been trying to find other stuff to watch, but so
Snowfall.
far like I haven't really had luck for a while. But yeah, I'm trying to find something else. Well, I haven't finished Handmaid's Tale, which I definitely want to finish that too. That's another show. Again, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's super wild, super crazy.
Are you already at the? Oh, I don't want to spoiler alert. Never mind.
For Handmaid's Tale?
I haven't watched it like deeply in detail, but I know like some major like turning
Events.
points. So I don't even want to ask.
I've
Yeah, never
seen
mind.
like a couple episodes at the end of season 2 and the start of season 3, but I started it over and I'm like halfway through season 2 though. So I've seen quite a bit of it so far. It's crazy. I could imagine living through that. But anybody else got anything?
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
I'll go ahead and give.
Well, all right,
my
Piglets.
2
This has
cents
been
in.
another installment of Culture
Wow.
with the shit. Okay. Go ahead.
There's this delay, bro.
There goes that delay again.
dog.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I've been trying to catch up a little bit on anime. Obviously, I moved into my new house, so I haven't had really an opportunity to watch any TV. But I have been watching some anime. About a month ago, I started watching Demon Slayer. I know I'm way back behind the curve. Obviously, the second season of Demon Slayer is coming out in the fall, and then I just started watching Fire Force. Other than that, a movie Shang-Chi is coming out on the 3rd. So obviously, some more new Marvel content, something new to look forward to. Hoping that Marvel can bounce back and we start getting rolling onto the new cinematic universe that we're getting into. But that's about it for me.
Some people have seen it already, and I don't know how.
Have seen
Shang-Chi,
one?
like I know some people have seen it. I don't know how they've seen it. There was like early screenings that they just got lucky enough to see. Because I thought I was under the impression it was out, but then I saw a trailer like on YouTube saying in 5 days or some shit like that, and I was like, wait a minute, what y'all talking about? I could have sworn this was already out, but I don't know. I have no idea.
I've been having a lot of fun the last week. You guys talking about different animes and
I'm here for this.
and I have no idea, like really what the fuck you guys are talking about. So, in an effort to not be making racist jokes, I've been just making racist jokes anyway. So every time you guys talk about anime and stuff, I just have to sit back and read, and then I just kind of like chime in with different names of people I actually know that sounds like they could be Asian names. I just tap in with Asian names. And I've been having so much fun with this shit. You guys going back and forth, talk about, dude, Tamagotchi didn't have nothing on Suzuki, and you know, like, and I just don't know what the hell you guys are talking. But I will say, and I know Brad, I kind of got on Brandon earlier today. I had a post that was saying I didn't think a lot of the anime's hype weren't living up to me, and maybe it's just because I'm new to it, so I have to learn that it's the different.
Some of them are definitely overrated.
Anime,
too.
Some of them are greatly overrated, completely. But I just kind of want to know what, because I've seen a few that you guys have mentioned now. I just want to know what DJ thought about Demon Slayer, because I've actually watched that one, and I think it's because it was only one season when I got to it. And I didn't have to, like, his other one. What's his favorite one? One Piece.
Oh, you cut off huge.
That shit's like 20 seasons, dog. I'm not
gonna. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
One Piece is a mountain to jump on if you're first starting off on your anime adventure. The Demon Slayer is really good. A lot of people do think it's overrated, but it's like a lot of it has to do with the animation style. The animation is great for that show. It's very, they took their time. Amazing. They took care with like
amazing.
The crafting of the fights, the adaptation from the manga to the
Okay, so this helps me because somebody who hasn't watched many animes or followed mangas and stuff like this, I didn't really have too much to compare to, you know. Like, it's different watching Kiki's Delivery Service and then watching Demon Slayer. Like, okay, yeah, one reminds me of Pokemon, and one is like way better. Who told you to
watch that?
No. I was just no because well, look, you're okay. So what you're doing right now is you're laughing at the fat guy in the gym, knowing that damn well that's where he should be. No. I'm done. No. We got here. So. How are you going to say, who told you to do? I was inquiring for my own, and I was just like, let me start. Let me watch some of these corny little ones just to get the what are they called? What, they're all made by the same cinema company
or something. Yeah.
Studio Ghibli.
Okay, so
I started with a few of those.
So for my 2 cents, like, I have never actually watched a Studio Ghibli film from start to finish.
Shame on you. Shame for telling me shit.
Listen. It's because I don't find like them to be. I like to be excited when I watch stuff. Whether it's either got to have plenty of action for me to be like to just kind of like no brain it. It's got to have plenty of action for me to no brain it, or it's got to have like enough mystery and intrigue, and just kind of like the stakes are high for me to be invested and be like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen next? You know what I mean? Like, but like
the studio
was-
Studio Ghibli movies are like there's
I didn't
usually
have
something that's kind of
any expectations.
Well, fair enough,
Okay.
for sure, fair enough. Like it's
I smoked the blunt and I was like, I got 40
they're-
minutes.
they're-
You know, like it
they're
wasn't that
beautifully
big.
crafted films. Nothing against them. They're just not my cup of tea. Is it? That's it. They're just I know like whenever a new one comes out, I'm just like this ain't up my alley. They're not gonna have what I really want to have in an
They're Dora the Explorer ass animes. I understand. I
I'm
totally
not gonna say that
understand.
100%, but just for me,
No,
for
say
me-
it.
well,
They're corny. They're corny as fuck,
for some,
dude.
for
Like,
some people,
they're,
for some people, they love them. They'll live and die by those movies.
they're
Yeah,
cute.
they're cute.
Yeah.
For the most part, they are cute, but it's just not my cup of tea. But like, there's
So I just wanted to know about now that you guys are saying that the action and the actual the drawings in the anime of Demon Slayer was a nice. So now it gives me something to like, you know, if something's not as
crisper, clean,
skilled, I'm like I'm okay with it because I understand the
Yeah.
grading a little
Yeah.
bit better now. So that gives me something to like. To
I mean,
work
there's
off.
a ton. It depends on like what apps you're using too. Some are funner than others. Like, a overall good anime is Assassination Classroom. It's about like an alien. Or
I've heard
not-
about that one too. I'm
technically
gonna
not
look
an
into
alien
that
being,
one.
But there's like this tentacle monster that like takes a chunk out of the moon, and then like he basically threatens the world, saying if he takes like the worst class in like this Japanese school and tells them that if they can't kill him before like the school year ends or whatever, then he's gonna blow up the earth. So like the whole time he's teaching them and making them better students. And then they're learning about it being assassins and stuff, and they're trying to kill him at every step of the way. Pretty much, it's
I mean, that's a giant squid is a little bit better than a giant starfish, so I'll look forward to that.
it's that one's good, and it's like it has like a really heartfelt like ending. You kind of see it's cool to see how like the characters develop. Like when it comes to for me when it comes to like manga and anime and stuff like that. Obviously, first off the rip, I want to see some action. For 9 times out of 10, I want to see some action. Second thing, I probably want to see some good animation, especially if it's anime. I want the art style to appeal to me, whether it's a manga or anime, really. But the better, like usually you get a better budget and
Right.
be able to do more stuff in an actual anime than you can in a manga, obviously, because you're just doing like standstill panels, you know.
Because I think I honestly just I underestimated the level of difficulty in animation because there's a lot of animes, or I don't know the specifics between the different animes, but there's a lot where the scenes that aren't necessarily like panned out or action, a lot of the conversation is it's two angles. It's a close up of one person talking, then a close up of the next person talking, and it's just like it's too,
Like a back
you know,
and forth.
it's
yeah.
Pokemon.
There's
Team Rocket.
it's usually like
it's
formulaic too for the most part. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like the actions or like the dramas or everything, like you'll get to a point where you're just like, oh, these guys are about to talk or whatever for this whatever period of time, and then they're gonna fight probably or whatever. You know, this is the antagonist and the protagonist meeting each other. They're gonna probably fight after this or whatever. It's funny dialogue. Oh, this guy's probably gonna do this or whatever. He's gonna have exaggerated. His mouth's gonna fall to the floor. It's gonna be exaggerated. He's gonna eat some food. He's gonna scarf it down like a freaking like he's never eaten before in his life. Like as
Right.
time goes on, you'll see these same tropes kind of every time. Like you're like, okay, this happened in this anime. It's probably gonna happen in this
That's-
anime, and it's happening in this anime.
There's gonna be this anime girl. There's gonna be
that's
some
my
fan
hardest
service.
thing to adjust to is
Yeah,
it's the level of dramatics that comes in anime that it's hard for me to just like accept, because every sentence is like, anime isn't necessarily a third person watching a story. It's like the main character saying his feelings out loud all the time. You know, even when there's no dialogue,
Oh, yeah.
you hear the guy's thoughts. If I don't do this, this is gonna happen. Like it's telling you the plot the whole
the funny
time.
thing too is that
So-
since I know you've seen Demon Slayer, I know you're talking about Tanjiro, and a lot of people like, and this is like from old heads, like people.
Every
people-
sentence is
people
dramatic.
like our age and people a little bit older than us. They'll lump him in with people like Deku or whoever else, and say like a lot of these new age protagonists are like crybabies. They cry all the time. They're overly emotional, and all this
Absolutely.
stuff like that. And then like myself and others too will be like, man, it's. You know, if your parents never hugged you, it's not our fault, man. It's okay. You know, it's okay to show emotion. These are little boys that are having to make these great sacrifices versus like a lot of the times back in the day, it was like grown men. Even there were some little boys too, but it was like
little boys who were like raised in the woods by themselves and literally didn't get a hug from their mom or dad, so they weren't really worried about emotions. They were just
Hey,
"What's
put
for
some
breakfast?
respect
Can I
on
kill this
Gohan's-
crocodile
on
and eat
Gohan's
it?" You know,
name.
like. but like you'll like if you ever watch something older, you'll see the difference and like it's way less emotional. It's more just like I'm gonna kick your ass and that's pretty much it. You know, like nowadays there's way more emotion, there's way more nuance to it versus
Pretty
back in the
much
day.
when anime was a lot closer to kung fu movies, when it was like a direct translation,
sure.
and now it's developed its own, like you said, the mangas and the
Yeah.
own, creative with the writing. It was down at first. It was down to the nitty gritty. You dishonor my family.
You gotta watch.
And
You
then
gotta
now
watch
it's
anime.
like
You gotta watch
Dishonor
anime
on
like
you,
Goblin Slayer
dishonor
and,
on your cow.
and Prison School.
I'm trying. Look, guys, I'm trying. I'm getting a little. I'm not gonna fully invest.
I don't know if
Too much
Joey's ready for those quite yet, but
Nope.
it's.
Nope. There's a lot. I have many other interests that
go
is
ahead.
stopping me from investing multiple hours a day into anime. I'm sorry.
The ones he just mentioned have like one season a pop, so they're short. But
Yeah.
the intensity though of those, I don't know if you're ready for that. I don't know if you're ready for the.
I'm ready. No, I'm down. Yeah.
If you say you don't, go ahead and watch Goblin. Go ahead and watch Goblin Slayer, then, bro. It's all you. That's all you. You got it. You got it.
That's okay. Sounds
That first
kinda
episode, the doozy. It's a doozy.
You have no idea. Yeah.
What's the American anime that just came out? The one where the guy was like from another planet, turned out to be evil. The action in that one was
I'm not
crazy.
sure what he's speaking about.
He turned on his own. He was from another planet, and they thought he was there, Mister.
Oh, Omni-Man.
Oh, you're talking about
Omni-Man.
Invincible. You're talking about
Invincible.
Yeah, Invincible, the one that fighting his own son. Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is that considered an anime?
You can, yeah.
But technically, it's not because it's not Japanese.
Well, it's just like that's
it's
just
an
what
American
they call
anime?
cartoons in Japan, and like
Anime
in America,
style.
we just tend to call them cartoons. But a lot of people have been referring to like animation like that as American anime because it's more not silly looking, basically. You know,
if you're telling me the action from Invincible is on par with some of the older ones, I'm there for it because that shit was hard.
That's like so. Invincible's whole thing is kind of like a pseudo Superman, or like Omni-Man is a pseudo Superman, but like
he'd kick Superman's ass.
No, he would not. Not even close.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. We could argue about this. I only saw one episode, and he took the dude's head and said like this. I'll take him.
Trust me, Omni-Man is tough, but Superman is basically written to be like he is written to be the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. That's just how he's been always written.
The guy has to pretend to be someone else in the daytime.
Goku
How tough is he?
I mean, I wish. I absolutely wish.
Is that okay? I think, bro, we were supposed to finish this 20 minutes ago. I think I opened up something that's gonna go forever.
But anyway,
we got a draft in about an hour and a half
to bring up, or any.
Yeah, Brandon, who are you picking in the first round?
So, the GM. I got to put the GM hat on.
If that's everything, all right, piglets.
Come on now, we all know the answer. It's Dalvin Cook.
Brandon's trying to close it out.
If speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, piglets, this has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured, one word. Remember, piglets, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We hope everyone out there is staying safe, and if you can't be safe, be deadly. Catch you guys next time. Later, piglets.
He's whooping Superman's ass.